Okay, hello. I know I haven't done a video in a long time, and that's probably not gonna change. My camera won't hold a charge, so I'm using the camera in the computer, so it's, pixely and stuff. But I wanted to share a dream I had the other night, because it was pretty cool. And sometimes I have dreams that make like a whole story, and this was one of those dreams like the whole thing made sense kind of at the end. Kind of. So I thought I'd share that. Okay, it started off, I was at Walmart, right? I was at Walmart with my mom. It was a Walmart I haven't actually been to, but I kind of knew it was like a Walmart. It was one of those stores that had like all kinds of things. And the aisles were really stacked up, like there was things on top. I'm basically. Anyway, so there's things stacked up on top, like suitcases, towels, coolers. There was like signs for summer sales. And I was walking down the aisle playing with my phone, like kind of not really looking at people. This is one of those dreams that was kind of odd because on the edges of the frame of the dream, it was darker. If that makes sense, it was like a dark and like an old photo, like kind of fades out towards the edges and gets black. But everything was like kind of like watching a YouTube with an effect on the edges. Yeah, no peripherals really going on. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so I was walking around the store, and I was shopping for my mom, but she was in better health than she is now. She was, pretty fit for my mom. And I'm walking out, so my mom calls me, Pim, Pim, come over here. She said my real life name, but for the sake of the story, Pim. So, Pim, Pim, come over here, I've got one. And I come, and she's got this boy pinned down to the ground. He's, he looked Spanish, like Mexican or Spanish. Probably around the age of 10. And he looked very, very scared. And I totally didn't give a shit. Like, well, I don't know if I can say that. Ignore that if I can't. I didn't care. I was like, no, whatever. I was like, so, what's his name? And then all of a sudden I noticed how loud it was in the store. Like people were like talking so loud, and she was in the clothing section. She had him pinned down, and there was like the checkout wasn't too far away, and there was like all these people in line to get their summer sales, and they're all, oh my god, and she was trying to tell me, I was like, what? She's like, what? Shanushu. Shanushu, who the hell names these people? How am I supposed to remember that name? She's like, just take him to the car. Okay. So I take his hand and I'm walking him to the car, and he is like totally freaking out. He's like, like the whole walk, and I'm just like, come on, play with my phone. I don't even, the whole dream, I was watching what was going on. I never actually saw what was on my phone that I was playing with. So, play with my phone, and he's like, who am I? And I explained to him, well, you're an alien to this planet, and your people have a special gift that when you're about to die, you can detect the closest human to you who is about to die due to stupidity. And he looked at me like, how do you die due to stupidity? So, you know, I I saw this, but I totally, like, I was watching him, but I wasn't looking at him. And it's like, well, like people who accidentally step in front of cars or bump against a wall and bowling ball hits them in the head. Things that are mistakes that could have been prevented but weren't. So they died healthy and such. And then you jump into their body since they're about to die anyway, and you're not killing them. And then you live on as them. I said it more confidently and clearly because it was a dream and I was awesome with my phone. Yeah. Anyway, so I take him to the van, and we get in the van, and he gets in the middle seat, and I get in the back seat, totally. And then my mom comes back to the car. I think she had a few bags of groceries. Don't really remember her putting them into the car, but I think she did. The whole car ride home, he's hear them. like, he seemed very deep in thought, like, kind of bewildered, shocked, but deep in thought. So, we get back to the house, and Mom starts to unload the groceries, and she's like, take him down, show him where he'll be staying. Okay. Come on, Sandshrew. Sandshrew, I said. And I was like, his name's Shanushu. I thought I should name him after Pokemon, evidently. Didn't seem to have a lot of respect for him at the time. It seemed like we were always picking up these wild aliens, like we were a halfway house to help them until they remembered who they were, because when they first jumped, they didn't have memories right away, and we were just, volunteers to help them, and it seemed like one of the things that was just happening all the time. It just happened so much that I just didn't care anymore. So I take him into the house, and I take him down to the cellar where my room was, and it was like my cell in reality, which of course doesn't mean anything to my viewers, but, so it's like say this is the cellar, over here would be the stairs, and then there'd be like a room right there, and then this area has storage, emptiness. In the dream, it was just empty. It was just black all around the room. And the room in the dream, the front wall was kind of missing, so it was just open, and then there was just wall, oh, I'm off cam, wall, wall, where's the camera? I don't know where my camera is. Yeah, so there's walls like this, and then this was like the cement wall, and this back wall, where the hell is the back wall? I suck at cameras. Okay, so the back wall had a doorway, but it was boarded over, and he comes down, he looks at the room, and the room is just covered in my clothes. Okay, my clothes are all over the floor, which is pretty normal. Not so bad right now, but when I did have my own room and I didn't share space, my clothes were just everywhere. So he comes in the room and he says, this can't be my room, it's a mess. So, first of all, it's our room. Second of all, it's not that bad. And he's like, then he looked back at me, and all of a sudden he had like this compassion, like he felt bad for me that I was such a slob. And he's like, and I collected, and I sat down, and there was a computer desk on the outside of where the wall would have been for the front of the room, but wasn't. And he's like, well, if you could have the perfect room, how would you want it? And nobody's ever asked me that before, I thought. Well, I guess a little more organized, but that's not likely. That's not what I asked you. I asked you how you would like it, not how you think you could get it. Okay. Well, I like to put my clothes in those blue bins, and then I can just throw all the shirts in one, all the pits the other, and kind of rummage around and make messes, but then they're contained messes, and I can find things. It'd be nice if they could fit in the closet, and then I could hide them with a curtain. And then the rest of the room would probably be easier to clean, and then it would be nice, I guess. And then for like a second, there was like a telepathy connection, and I could like see who he was. And he was an older man. I don't know how old, but he had like a few wrinkles, not like really wrinkly, just like a few, like by the eyes and stuff. And he had short hair, blonde brownish, with a little bit of gray in there, and it looked like he was a carpenter before. So when I told him this, he was like full of excitement, like this young boy, 'cause now he's a young boy because he jumped into the body, was just full of excitement. He was just so happy that he was going to be able to help. And so he's like, all right, I will build it. And I was like, wait, I'll help you, I can do this together. And he's like, no, you stay there. It'll be my thing. Don't look until I'm done. Because now technically he is a little boy, so he could get hurt. Although he has an adult mind, it hasn't like kicked in yet, not fully, because it takes, a few days, I guess, before they remember everything, which is why we were babysitting him. So he goes off around to the back of the room, into the darkness, because everything outside the room was just dark. Oh, no, don't fall asleep, computer. I'm recording. Okay. And he goes back there and he's like poking out wood. I don't know. I guess it came from the darkness. And he's like building a closet behind the room. And then he was going to, I guess, take the boards off and the boarded up door. And then you could like walk into this closet with the bins. I'm guessing. I don't know. I wasn't supposed to look. And then it started to get late. And I was like, alright, we should go to bed. And he's like, okay. Stop. I can't go to bed with him. He's like a 10-year-old boy. And in the dream, in the dream, I was like a 16-year-old girl. So, I was thinking about this. What now? So then he turned into a girl. I don't think he really transformed. I think it was more like he used a cloaking device to make himself look like a girl so that I would be more comfortable because it's a dream. He had more telepathy to read my mind than I had of his. Sometimes it works one way, and sometimes it works both ways, and sometimes it's the other way. And this time he was just totally in tune with what I was thinking instead of me being in tune with what he was thinking. Not sure why. But anyway, so then he was this blonde girl. It was very cute. And I was like, okay, we'll clean off the sofa and we can sleep on the sofa. And I clean it off and she's looking at the sofa now like, we ain't both sitting on that sofa. Right. So then I'm looking around, trying to, dig under the clothes, and we found a bed under there. It was like a little twin bed, so we cuddled into it because we had to, otherwise we would fall off. And, pulled the sheets over, and then that was the end of the dream. The end of the dream, I went to sleep. I'm not sure what any of this means, but it was interesting. And I kind of wish it'd continue so I could see how the closet came out. Not that I'm really good in the closet, but it would have been interesting. So that was my dream about Shinushu, the body jumping alien. Yep. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'm not sure when my next video will be because I'm lazy and I don't like to talk to myself too often. Now I'm not talking to myself. I have a camera on. The people outside the room wouldn't know that. But there isn't really any people outside the room right now. They're gone, except for the one. He's asleep. Stuff. Things. Oh, by the way, if anybody does follow my videos, Leonard, that dog doesn't cry so much anymore. The little yellow one, I can pick it up and hold it now. It doesn't cry. It barks when I come in the house, even though I walk her every day. She doesn't really cry anymore, so that's good. Much easier. Still hard to, if she has a tick to get it off, because she like wiggles all around. But, she's much better now. Much calmer. Okay, that's the end of my video. And I don't have a cool goodbye, so Spock says goodbye. Rah! No, that was bad. Okay, bye peoples in my computer.